Thousands of visitors gathered at the Port of Olympia to witness the final canoe landing in this year's Paddle to Nisqually. The journey brought together canoe families from the U.S., Canada, and around the world in a celebration of Native spirituality, singing, dancing, and storytelling. We had a chance to join the celebration and find out what it means to host a tribal canoe journey.
Squamish family is honored that you come to share your songs and dances through the stories. That gift that you bring and that gift that you continue, the Squamish family opens our hands and we bless you and thank you. Come to shore.
It's an event to bring everybody together, you know, to bring people you may not have seen in years, you know, families, friends, loved ones, wherever they may be, near or far. And this is the final spot today, the final finishing line. So for us at Nisqually, this is the first time we've ever actually hosted the canoe journey.
Our people haven't had a big potlatch since the early 1900s, and this is our chance to do that. We've been doing the canoe journey for 20 years, you know, over 20 years. Traveling to other places and watching their hosting. And now it's our turn, and it feels really good. I think it feels good.
I want everybody to come to our shores and see what we have to offer and our best that we have to offer.
We are glad you came today, and
it's going to be a really, really beautiful thing in Nisqually.
For us at Nisqually to see our younger generation of kids getting involved, it's very special to myself and all of the tribal council, all of our elders. You know, I can remember being one of the little kids. Now I'm 34 on tribal council, you know, so I'm looking ahead at the next generation now. What do we have to do to educate and teach the next generation, you know, our ways? Continue this canoe journey, continue our language, continue all of the stuff that we have that is keeping us Native people.
Our people didn't base their lives on materialistic things and money. We based it on, you know, how much we could give and share with our relatives and our visitors. And to me, that's what the canoe journey is about. You pull hard and you pray for your people back home, and then you get to your destination, and it's like they're going to welcome us with open arms. And that's what Nisqually has done, you know.
I see the happiness this brings to people who take part in this. You know, it helps their heart. You know, it gets them feeling good about themselves, gets them feeling good about their canoe family, about their canoe, everything that this deals with.
It's also, I would say, like a sobriety retreat at the same time. And not just sobriety from, like, you know, drugs and alcohol, but, you know, it sobers us out from things like social media and, you know, whatever else we spend our time with, learning culture, learning your history.
Being taught really young and growing up with the culture, they always told us respect is everything. Respect is what is earned, not given. So we always hold that strong, being brought up in the canoe family.
Where we're showing the Thurston County, the state of Washington, everybody, you know, what this means to us. My dad is Billy Frank Jr., you know, passed away 2 years ago, May. And I know my dad would be so happy to see these canoes right now. He'd be so happy to see everybody smiling, to see everybody coming together. You know, he had a very special gift of bringing people together. He always said, you know, you never retire. But, you know, for us, we're going to be working for the rest of our life, you know, on protecting our treaty rights, protecting our sovereignty, protecting our way of life. And this is it. This is our way of life right here.
We welcome you to our land and to our water, and we know that you are hungry.
For more stories from the paddle to Nisqually, visit NWIN.TV. This is Leandra Smith reporting.
Hey! To my tribe, I'm more than a student. I'm an example that it's possible to get an education. Even when only 5% of Indians on the reservation can afford to go to college.
Who says that all good things must come to an end? That nothing lasts forever? That you can't turn the tide for good? For us, protecting nature comes so naturally. We're the tribes in Western Washington, stewards, and have been for centuries to come.
Washington's Indian tribes are investing in jobs. Job-creating investments like the $350 million container terminal in Tacoma.
Puyallup Tribe, through Marine View Ventures, is partnering with SSA Marine to develop a 200-acre, 3-berth terminal, which at full build-out will be the largest terminal in the Pacific Northwest.
Tribal governments are investing in Washington's economy, creating jobs in many different industries. Everyone's working together to make it happen.
The Tulalip tribe's sacred connection to the air and the land, the water and the salmon, guides our commitment to Washington's environment. For thousands of years, we have lived in harmony with our surroundings. Today, we use proven science and modern technology to fight climate change and to care for the natural resources we all depend on, for this generation, the next, and the next.
Tribal Journey continues to gain popularity with growing canoe families and new canoes on the water every year. 2016 was no exception. This year, the Stillaguamish tribe joined the canoes for the first time. We caught up with the Stillaguamish canoe family as they were greeted by the Puyallup tribe on Owen Beach.
We are glad you had a safe journey and we welcome you here, so please come ashore.
It's been a long journey so far. It's been a journey just to get to this point, to get on the water, but it's been great work. It's a lot of bringing people together. We meet every week to practice our songs, share a meal together, and then every weekend we get out on the water. For me to see, the Stillaguamish tribe go from 0 to here on journey, pulling on a 9-hour day like this, the Stillaguamish tribe has been working really hard to be here.
This is the first time my community's been able to come out here and participate as their own community. We got people that are just friends of friends that are coming willing to relieve pullers if we need it, or bring sandwiches, or do whatever, and it's brought together a missing piece, I think, in our own community, and more fullness, more togetherness.
This was actually my first time paddling today. I wish more people came out. The more people, the more fun it is. And it's just awesome, and I just want everyone to have that moment.
I'm loving pulling. Even though it can be tiring, can cause some soreness in the muscles, it's really fun. It reminds us of who we are and where we came from. And it shows others that we remember and we know who we are.
So the name of this canoe is Ishil Yahuwah, and that literally means paddling eagle, as in the eagle goes paddling with us. On this canoe, on the bow, we carry an eagle feather. We believe that power helps lift the bow out of the water and keeps the canoe afloat. So from the place that we started up until now, there's been unbelievable amounts of change. We've gotten better at using the songs to keep each other together. We practice the songs with our drums first, and we teach them that each drum beat is a paddle stroke. And then when we get in the canoe, they've already got that same beat down.
It's beaten every expectation that I've had, every landing that I've been to the protocols at night, like everything's holding up to the expectation. And to be out here today, to land, it's pretty special. It's a dream come true for a lot of us.
You don't ever remember the early mornings or the long, hard days. You remember when you land on the beach and you can smell the barbecue cooking on the shore and you're covered in salt water. And it's an amazing journey.
You see all these new people out here and like new faces that you haven't seen around, like people from all around like the world, different tribes coming together and enjoying this.
So out of this journey, the tribe gets a stronger family, a stronger sense of identity. They get a stronger connection to each other, and that makes us more resilient as people in an ever-changing world.
And to be able to teach this to our community, to our youth, and have our elders standing on the beach is waiting for us. Sitting out right there. Let's go out for another 10 hours. That was worth it. That right there was worth it. We could be the last canoe every day. And if I get that response, I'm more than happy. You know, this canoe in the years to come will hopefully still be carrying our people through these waters, and our ancestors will still be guiding them. And that's what I want to see. That's what I hope for.
For more stories from the paddle to Nisqually, visit NWIN.TV. This is Leandra Smith reporting.
Washington's Indian tribes are investing in health care. The Jamestown S'Klallam tribe is expanding their health care clinic to meet an ever-growing community need.
Quality health care of our people, of our citizens, Indian and non-Indian alike, is essential for our future.
This new 35,000 square foot clinic will provide medical services and be open to the general public. Tribal governments are investing millions of dollars each year across our state to improve health and dental care in our communities.
That's the bottom line for us, is quality health care.
The suicide rate of Native Americans is 25% higher than the national rate.
Today is just another day.
A day I think about you.
A day I remember your laugh.
A day I remember your sense of humor.
Why were you so sad?
What made you hurt so much?
Why didn't you call?
Why didn't I see your signs?
Your pain may be gone,
but mine just started.
No one said life was easy.
There is help. There's hope.
Reach out to someone.
Reach out to me.
Reach out to me.
Reach out to me.
A person commits suicide every 40 seconds.
So please get help. It's worth it. Be strong and live life.
My father suffered from what they called shell shock back then, but today we know it as PTSD. So I founded H3, Horses Healing Heroes, where our horses help veterans reduce anxiety and build confidence. When I received the grant from the Tulalip tribes, it made a huge impact. Without the Tulalip tribes, this program would not be here. It's not just money. What the Tulalip really give is their hearts.
Greenpeace has been a longtime ally in the fight to defend our natural resources and protect the Salish Sea. In 2016, answering a challenge from the Squamish Nation, Greenpeace joined the tribal canoe journey, participating in protocol and pulling alongside the canoes on their way to Nisqually. Together, the Squamish Nation and Greenpeace are strengthening alliances to protect the environment through shared culture and shared experience.
We also have with us our family from Greenpeace USA and Greenpeace Canada who have stepped forward to help with the recycling and the waste management. We're very grateful for the work that they're doing to protect the Salish Sea and stand in unity with all of our Native peoples. So thank you to Greenpeace.
What we've realized over this time, over this last 150 years of these new people living in our territories, is all the mismanagement of resources and mismanagement of the people. So it's created a lot of environmental disasters. So at this time, it's really important for us to stand up and voice our opinions. We can't damage the water. We just cannot. It's a life giver. you know, and we need to protect the air, we need to protect the earth. So without all of these things, you know, we're living in danger.
So I think there's a responsibility for us to look to the canoe as a symbol that we're all in this together, that there's now a global urgency, and that we each must put our paddle in the water to collectively move forward. The slightest degree in change in the long-term trajectory will be beneficial for all of us. Greenpeace has been in the forefront, working in collaboration with Indigenous peoples around tar sands, the Salish Sea, saving the Arctic. There's so many things that our people have gravitated towards in strengthening those relations with common visions and common objectives.
Yeah, so Greenpeace started actually in 1971 working on a ban of nuclear bomb testing, and so it also has a background in nonviolent resistance. All around the world we've done a lot of different work with Indigenous communities, whether it be nuclear stations or coal mining or oil extraction and oil pipelines. You can see a direct link between Indigenous communities tending to be the first communities impacted. I don't think that environmentalism is a separate issue than what folks are doing here and decolonizing.
And for, you know, a nonprofit like Greenpeace, you know, who wants to be our ally, who wants to go to war with us and protect the environment, they need to understand who we are and where we come from, so they can stand beside us. They can understand where we want to go. We see the vision, see the direction that we're going in. Being on the canoe journey, you're going to be able to see a lot of that. You're going to be able to be there, and you're going to hear those words.
Song, we now sing it as our snowbird song, as a way of honoring the power, that breath of life that connects all of us.
More importantly, they're going to learn all of this stuff, but they're going to bring it home with them, and they're going to talk to their family and the organization. They're going to go back and tell Greenpeace the way they do ceremonies, the way they do work, they do it in a certain way. And now we understand how, you know, to collaborate, how we can move forward with campaigns, how we can, you know, mobilize the community and get them involved.
Being part of this journey really, really clearly brings me hope for the future. When we work together, we're able to achieve amazing, amazing victories. There's challenges too. I think that a lot of people are learning the same way that we were clanking our paddles around earlier today. I think that a lot of people are catching rhythms and learning from one another, learning how to relate to each other as settlers and as Indigenous folks. And there's a lot of muscles being built, including back muscles.
It should look like pistons coming up and down the center of the canoe like that as you come up and then down.
Straight in.
So the skipper in the back should see pistons. Today we finally had a day together here in Lummi that we can get out on the water, start working on timing, getting familiar with each other, getting a feel of the rhythm and the unity. And I think that's exciting to see where we started today and where we will end up in Nisqually, the strength in the unity that will be created as a result of this journey.
It's really hard to specifically say, like, this is what you're going to achieve at the end of the canoe journey. It's a complexity of things. It's a personal growth, it's a spiritual growth, it's emotional growth, it's community growth. Like you're becoming a part of the community. You're learning how to be, you know, in chot mode, one heart, one mind, one spirit.
For more stories from the paddle to Nisqually, visit NWIN.TV. This is Lori Boyd reporting.
Visit NWIN.TV and check out our updated website. We've added some new features and made it easier to watch NWIN episodes on demand, including the one you've seen today.
Families, friends, loved ones, wherever they may be, near or far. And this is the final spot today, the final finishing line.
You can still watch NWIN and other Native programming at tulaliptv.com. Also, be sure to find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Enjoy the NWIN online community.
Washington's Indian tribes are investing in education. In Auburn, the Muckleshoot tribe just opened a new state-of-the-art $40 million school for up to 500 students in grades K through 12.
The tribe has made an investment in the Muckleshoot people, not just into facilities, but into the people to gain an education.
We want our children to be able to succeed in life. We want them to be able to compete with anyone in the world and achieve whatever they need to in their lives.
Hey! Education can end poverty, violence, and health issues on the res. But only 5% of Indians on the reservation can afford to go to college.
Washington Indian tribes are investing in the environment. The Nisqually tribe has undertaken the restoration of the Nisqually River Delta.
The goal of the project is to remove all the dikes, reflood the estuary, and help bring back the salmon runs.
The Delta is a huge piece of our environmental efforts. So we feel this really deep internal desire to keep the river as well as these surrounding prairies in the best shape possible.
From the outside, it may not look like much, but inside, the Tulalip Tribe's Construction Training Center is alive with opportunity. Not every teen is college-bound, yet together with our surrounding community, the Tulalip Tribes believe all must have the skills to succeed in work and in life. Teens and young adults learn skills like plumbing and carpentry, so they make real careers for themselves and a real contribution to Washington's economy.
Tribal Journey is an opportunity to share culture, build relationships, and strengthen alliances. Representatives from several East Coast tribes joined the paddle to Nisqually. We had a chance to meet these visitors, hear their stories, and learn about their commitment to practicing and protecting their culture.
Our first journey was paddle to Squamish in 2011, and then Squaxin Island, and then Quinault, and now this journey. So this is the year that I felt that it was important for us to bring our sister tribes, Wampanoag, Nipmuc, Pequot, Narragansett, because they're fighting for a lot of coastal rights. So the best way to fight for those rights is to bring back the traditions and paddle.
Well, we are the people of the Dawnland. We're the first people to see the sun rise over the ocean. The ocean is very much a part of our territory and our homeland. Island to island is a part of how we existed.
Right now, we're fighting for our ocean access. We're talking the town of Southampton, the Hamptons here. You know, Jay-Z has a house there. You know, Versace, Calvin Klein, you know, right across our bay from our reservation, we see all those houses. And the town is requiring us to pay permits per year to access this beach. That's kind of backwards.
Especially when you consider the fact that this is the place that we've always been. When the ice left, we came in, and that's thousands of years. And to think that someone else might decide that they have the right to tell us what we can and can't do there, how we're supposed to live, how we're supposed to survive, how we're supposed to take care for the next, it doesn't make sense. We were able to maintain our way of life for 12,000 years, 20,000 years, and every generation had what they needed. And yet in the last how many decades have we seen that ruined? The point now where the herring don't come up the river anymore.
If you're coastal people and you can't access the coast and you can't fish and you can't gather, then that's a form of genocide. Because how are we supposed to sustain who we are and develop if we can't access the things that are a part of who we are?
You know, we have a lot of commonality as coastal people, as canoe people, as ocean people. A lot of the concerns that affect people here are concerns that affect us all, so that we work together, and we cannot be defeated so easily if we're divided up. When we come together, we can support each other better.
For Northwest Indigenous News, this is Chanel Retaskett reporting.